This video is brought to you by Ravenscraft Realty of Northeast Missouri. Hey everybody, so I didn't have class today. I just worked a whole day for Bradford. I just mowed and got stuck twice and trimmed some trees and ate lunch with my co-workers. It was a good time. But now I am back in my field of beans that was planted on March 28th, and I'm gonna dig around and see if I can find some and see what kind of condition they're in. Up here on this part of the field, it's kind of sandy for whatever reason, so get a good idea of what's going on in the whole field, dig in a couple different places. And I forgot my pocket knife, so tough. Oh, I saw something down here. Right here at the tip of my finger, there's a bean that has completely burst out of the cotyledons and was attempting to come up. See? How about that? Let's put him back and see if he'll continue to grow. I doubt it. So now we need to go check one of the wetter places, like here over the top of the hill, or maybe down that way. Okay, here's a couple of them in a row, and they all appear to be doing something. And none of them are mushy yet, so we have a pretty good chance for making an actual crop out here on this early planted ground. Oh, when I started mowing at Bradford this morning at 9 o'clock, it was very cold and I needed my big heavy jacket. And then, as time went on, I got down to this pullover, and then as more time went on, I got down to a t-shirt. And now I'm back to the pullover, and truthfully, I think I'm ready to have the jacket back on. So if you don't like the weather in Missouri, just wait like 2 hours and it'll be different. I picked up some breado pizza from town, and I have my favorite friend to greet me here. Who's a good girl?
Yeah, let's be the maiden boys with the new seed tender. Just try it here in the lot to get some seed put in and make sure that works right. It's dried a lot last couple days, but not quite there yet. I want to get some seed in the planter anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it. Crossing the bridge, Mississippi River. Lots of traffic too. Got a good bridge here, so it's not too bad. We wouldn't have done this 30 years ago. We had an old two-lane bridge here with no shoulder. Would not have worked. This is a nice bridge though.
Here we are on the Illinois side of the river where Dad is applying anhydrous ammonia. He's right there. And he needs a ride, and I have nothing to do for a while, so I'm gonna ride around with him, and then he's gonna ride back to Missouri with me. Lights off. Okay, let's go catch a ride. Can't forget the memes. Well, now we gotta switch tanks. These big tanks don't last that long. About 37 acres is what we get out of them. Well, my pickup and a new ammonia tank are right over there, and Dad is on his way. Good morning, puppy dog. Well, we're just checking out the livestock division of the farm, and everything seems to be on the up and up. But for whatever reason, we have like 24 chickens, and we only got 1 egg yesterday. So that means that like 10 eggs went missing, and there couldn't possibly be a yellowish dog that had anything to do with that. Right, May? Hey, do you know what happened to the eggs? I think she knows what happened. You would never go into the chicken coop and take 10 eggs, would you? No, look at that face. She could never do that. I did some running around kind of errands for my mom since she is presently in Texas visiting my aunt. And now we are on our way to my newly rented farm for 2022. Well, we've got a terrace to fix on that place and a crossing to put in. And I'm also going to cut down some trees that are in the fence. So I've got some hydraulic oil, a funnel, a chainsaw, and some Tordon RTU. And we're going to take care of all of our problems today. This place is all of like 2 miles from home. Main man Roberto is already here, and I have chainsaw right back there. We're gonna get to work. Okay, we got our hydraulic oil in there. We're good to go. What we're doing here is putting in a crossing for this ditch, and all we're doing is we dug it out a little bit where the ditch is, because the guys that were farming this before had just been dumping gravel in the ditch and then crossing it twice a year or whatever. And we're gonna put in a true crossing, and all we're doing, digging it out and then putting some concrete in the bottom of it. And hopefully now the water is gonna wash over the concrete and then just keep going down the ditch. I was hoping to get this place planted this year with my 40/20 and my 6-row planter, but we're getting closer and closer to May and running out of time, so it may not happen. On the backside of this place, I'm making my way to the west with the chainsaw and the Tordon, getting rid of baby trees, or brush as I like to call it. And I noticed that there is a fence back here, and it's like all the way over there. It's like an extra 20 feet. And most of that 20 feet is taken up by little stuff like this. And next time I'm back here with the batwing mower, it's going to disappear, because all that kind of stuff, it'll shade out your corn or your soybeans. It'll cause nutrients to be sapped, because the trees need nutrients too. As I'm going along here, I'm taking stuff that might be a problem in the future or is already a problem, like that tree right there. I'm just throwing it back into the brush. You can kind of see there's a row of trees right here, and that's where the fence actually starts. It's an old 2-strand barbed wire, probably worked for keeping cows or whatever back here. Now, there's no hope of actually farming all the way up to this, because if I did so, I would probably be encountering some erosion. So, you know what? 20 foot of trees or whatever, I'll take that. The mission here isn't actually to take out big growing trees. It's just to take out little brushy stuff that's, like arm-sized around or smaller, that could become a big tree in the future, but I have a chance to stop it now, so I may as well. There's also a bit of a tree row starting to form back here, and that's going to disappear, because little trees get big eventually, and these are little trees, and I don't want them to get big. This place has been no-tilled for several years. It's kind of rough, so I think I'm going to run over it with the field cultivator this year and then plant my beans. I might have to make a passover before I use the field cultivator, because by the time I get to it, these little weeds are going to be big. Part of the deal with this farm was that we fixed this tile in this terrace that wasn't working right, and it appears to have been broken down there at the base where it meets the riser. So we're going to screw it back together, tape it up, and call it good. Okay, our mission has taken a new direction here. It requires the use of the 9460R and the scraper. On the tile that's in that terrace that we were fixing just a moment ago, may have noticed that there was a slight hole around it. So that tile had gotten broken, and dirt was washing down alongside of it and then into the bottom, and not through the tile the whole way like it's supposed to. So we're going to use the scraper as a hauling mechanism, and we're going to load up the spoil dirt with the backhoe, and that's how we're going to fill in the hole that was created around that tile. Now we just have to get this big girl and her bigger counterpart over to the farm where we're working. Now, like I said before, this place is like 2 miles away, which is nice because I will have been there and back like 3 times already today. And I'm probably going to go back again after lunch so that I can continue to delete some trees. We made it without incident, and there is part of the pile of dirt we're going to put in there, and the rest of the dirt is over there. Just going to plop it in the scraper and dump it, and that'll be it. just backed the 9460 in the scraper all the way up here so that we could load it. And I don't know, that'll about be half a load of dirt in there. I need to take a machete and hack off these little sprouts here so they don't turn into things like this and then fall over. I'm glad we have our main man Rob over there because he knows how to do all this stuff, so I am learning from him as we're doing this. And this is actually a farm that I rent, so it's doubly nice to know what's actually going into what I'm gonna be farming. All right, Rob said to dump it right here, and as I remember, this one dumps it. Nope, that lowers it. This one dumps it. And then you drive away. So the way these terraces were built on this hillside, and actually Rob built these many years ago. So there's 3 terraces. First one is right there, second one is here, and then the third one's down there. And the second one is also laid over, but I think all that happened to it was it just got knocked over and everything's fine down below. That one, it got knocked over and everything was not fine down below. Yep, she looks good. So I'll just dig around. Well, actually I don't have a shovel anymore. So we'll just throw that down on there and hope for the best. Just like that, she's about good as new. Took us all like a half hour-ish to do this. So not too bad. There's about 5 acres on this place that I'm farming this year that was alfalfa. I think I'm just gonna no-till into it, and we're gonna fix this up real quick, and it'll be perfect. In the process of clearing some of these trees out, I happened to bend the neighbor's post, so we're just gonna do one of these, see if I can get it straightened back out without destroying it. But if I do booger it up some, I have fence posts at home. Oh, look at that. Absolutely perfect. All the controls on this feel like they're backwards to what I'm used to. Oop. Then once you get your your hoe folded up, bring up your outriggers. Got one on that side and that side. Then you flip the seat back around. Pick up your bucket. That's what happens when you don't pick up the bucket. And you put her in forward gear, move to the next trees. Easy peasy. Man, look how nice that looks. I'm gonna cut that one down with the chainsaw. Actually, you know what? We're taking that out with the backhoe. I'm not screwing around with the chainsaw for that little thing. I'm gonna set you guys up somewhere here in the backhoe and see if I can get you the whole not one-handed tree tearing out experience for you. Okay, I tried to find a spot and I couldn't, sorry. This one decided that it would join me in the cab, so now I have to get it out of the cab. Oops. Now, whatever kind of tree this is has a lot bigger root ball than a pine tree does. Now that it's 3 o'clock, I finally got home, and I'm gonna have something to eat, and then I'm gonna go work on those, on that tree row a little bit more. I'd like to get as much of that stuff cleaned up now as I possibly can, because it's gonna be another, not like 9 months before I could even possibly get back there. That's if Dad lets me use the track hoe and it's not being used for one of his or Grandpa's projects. Because right now I'm the low man on the totem pole. And if Dad and Grandpa have something that's vastly more important than my stuff, which most of it is, it gets used for their purposes.
I've been putting on ammonia over here in Illinois. In the irrigated field I got. It's going on really good. Other than currently doing a parts regen on the 9510R. Not sure what the emissions issue is, but it's starting to get annoying. It's the third one that we've had to do in the last 2 days. Can't get much done when you have to have the tractor parked, not do anything.
I'm back again, this time at about 6:30. After I ate lunch, I mowed the yard at the house, and back out here, I'm just gathering up the single strand of barbed wire that was out here so that it doesn't end up in a bearing or in a planter or in a combine or any other places it's not supposed to be. And I've stood up all the fence posts that I can find, and this is as good as it's going to get for now, because there's 4 trees out here in this fence row that I couldn't get with the backhoe. Probably require a track hoe. And then this whole fence row over here, that's also going to require a track hoe. And it's also going to require me to get in touch with the neighbors that own that and see if they'll work with me. Well, this is what 150 yards of barbed wire looks like when it's condensed down to a pseudo roll. I'm so good at that I didn't even shred my hands. I use these fantastic HISEA Outdoors steel toe work boots, which you can get for 15% off using the code GOLDINGER15. Now it's kind of late in the day on Sunday, so you guys know that I have to say goodbye to the puppy dog because the video is about over. Well, folks, that's all I got for you this weekend, so thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, you should subscribe. You might like it around here. And if you have a question, put it down in the comments. I'm a pretty open book when it comes to that kind of stuff. And if you aren't already subscribed, you should be, because I'm pretty cool and Dad's pretty cool. Also, thanks, Dad, for videoing. We're significantly behind because of, I don't know, the endless rain and zero warmth, but we will eventually start actually planting. The 6 acres, I guess, doesn't count, but, you know, whatever. But thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.